Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm excited because I'm playing with the new palette and I've been kind of eyeing it up for a little while, and actually Jamie convinced me that I should get it. So it's the ABH Rose Metals palette. It looked really pretty, kind of very pretty for like autumn winter time as well, and kind of you can create quite neutral shades but also kind of quite fun party evening evening looks with this as well. So yeah, I was eyeing it for a while. I was gonna not buy it because obviously it's coming up to Christmas, trying to save some money and potentially buying a house next year, hopefully. But Jamie said just to go for it and just to pick it up, so I did. So I really like packaging this. I think it's actually one that I prefer the most because I've had the Modern Renaissance palette, which I absolutely love, but obviously it's kind of more like felty material, so it got very dirty very easily. Then I've got the Riviera palette, which I don't use as much. I thought I'd get a lot of use out because it was kind of the first real colourful palette from them, but I don't really use it. And again, I feel like the palette gets quite messy, but this one is kind of a bit more smoother texture. It looks really pretty, and this is what it looks like inside. So really nice rosy tones, as you expect. Like a lot of the neutral mattes are kind of nice rosy brown tones. But then I think you've got a nice variety of shimmers in there. Some are super, super pretty looking. And what I loved about this palette as well is as soon as I looked at it, I could come up with several looks. So I think that's what makes it a great palette. Not only has it got beautiful shades, I think the way they've placed the shades together, you can really easily come up with a nice combination. So for example, like this four would work nicely together, this four, and this four. I even think that's just a quick, easy one. Like the twos kind of work quite well together and stuff. So I can already see a lot of looks that could be done with this palette, which I think makes it really great. It was, I want to say, around the £46 mark. Let me put it up. £48, and you get, if I got mass, 12 shades. So yeah, you get okay, you soon get 3 matte shades, but then you've got 2, or like this one's Sun Rose. It's a matte with specks of shimmer in, but not really shimmery. And then you've only got a mix. I feel like these are kind of nice soft shimmers, whereas you've got ones like these, which I think are more metallic finishes. Let me actually just bring it up and we can see. I'll go with this order. So we've got Rose Quartz, which is a metallic pink champagne with sparkling reflex. Which order's going in this way? Royal, a sparkling burgundy with pink reflex. Haze, a metallic silver gold with multi-dimensional reflex. Rose Fire, a metallic fiery copper with multi-dimensional reflex. Sunrose, a matte peachy brown with sparkling reflex. And Nova, a metallic golden bronze with multi-dimensional reflex, which actually Nova is really pretty because it's saying metallic golden bronze, which it is, but also it feels like it's coming off a bit olivey green as well, which I quite like. Yeah, then you've got Heavenly, a metallic platinum gold with multi-dimensional reflex. Element, a metallic rosy brown. Ashes, a matte greyish taupe with sparkling reflex. Oh, I did not see the sparkling reflex. Okay, yeah. Very subtle, but they are there. June, a matte rustic brown. Nocturne, a metallic grey stone with sparkling reflex. And then Noble, a matte plum brown. So yeah, so a nice variety. Yeah, shimmers, and there's also like multi-dimensional reflex, is what they're saying, which is kind of like this one, this one. I guess it makes it a bit more metallic, kind of different shift to it, which is really pretty. So I'm really excited to play with this, and if you're interested, please keep on watching. Okay, so as per usual, I'm going to take my Lily Lolo eye primer to prep and prime the eyes. I am going to start off with the shade Noble, which was the matte plum brown. I'm going to take it on a Sigma blending brush, one of my favourite brushes to use. Tap off. And I'm going to start packing this onto the outer portion. So I think I'm going to do that classic kind of smoky eye, where it's a nice gradient from light to dark, the pop of shimmer in the inner portion. It's kind of a nice style of look to do with the first impressions, because it always looks pretty. You can kind of test out how well these shadows work. Okay. So I'm just patting the shade on just to get the pigmentation down. That's a nice pigmented shade. And I think it must be, yeah, I'd say it's the deepest shade in the palette, which I think that's quite nice. I think it's going to complement the rest of the shades nicely. I know some people do prefer like a natural black in a palette, but I think this kind of, I think a black would be too intense with the colour palette that's going on here. Just going to do the same other side. I think for all you guys who love the cool tones, I think it's really pretty. Yes, you've got like Rose Fire and Sun Rose, which is slightly warmer, but I think overall it's very cool toned, and actually those two for autumn, like a burnt orange, would look so pretty. Same shade though on the brush, and just very carefully run it along the lower lash line. Okay, so I've just cleaned that Sigma brush off. I'm actually going to go in with the shade Dune next and pick that up. Ooh, that's nice and pigmented. A little bit of fallout in the pans, but nothing crazy. And I'm going to take this just kind of on top of Noble and just above, just to start blending that out. And I'm going to bring it into the inner portion. And I'm going to keep it quite rounded as well. I don't know what's been going on with me. Usually I do like quite a winged like look, but I've been doing quite a lot of rounded eyes recently and I've been really enjoying it. Okay, so that's a really pretty shade. That's done a really good job of blending out the shade Noble, so the darker brown. So we're getting some kind of gradient smoky look going on. I'm just going to go and do the same on the other eye. I'm actually going to take some of Dune as well and pop it along the lower lash line. I have to say I really like the shade of Dune, so it's described as a matte rustic brown. I think it's really, really pretty actually. Okay, let's do a good old blend now. So I'm going to go in with the shade Ashes, which is the matte greyish taupe with sparkling reflex, which it does have a little bit of sparkling reflex. It looks more matte. There is a little bit of something there. I'm going to take it on a slightly fluffier brush. This is a Luxie 235 blending. Only a small amount, and I'm going to start blending the edges out. I'm just using very light pressure. I just want to make sure the edges are nice and soft. I mean, these are blending out really nicely, I have to say. Very happy about that. I'm also going to take some Ashes and blend a little bit along the lash line as well. Just to tie everything together. Okay, so in terms of more the matte shades, I know like I said, Ashes does have like reflex or little bits of shimmer, but it is more matte, I would say. It looks really nice so far, nice pigmented, but also really easy to blend. So far I am very happy with how it's looking. Now we're going to move on to the fun bit, which is the kind of metallics and shimmers. So the I'm going to go in with, which one do I want to go in with? So I'm going to go in with Haze, so the metallic silver gold with multi-dimensional reflex. And I'm going to first of all apply this to my finger to see how it works. And then on the other eye I might try the brush just to compare them. So I'm going to pop this on. Wow. That is very, very pretty. And they feel very creamy to touch as well. Okay, I'm just going to, on the other eye, take a flat brush. Preferably clean. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a little flat brush now. Take the shade Haze again. And pack on. I do think the finger gives more pigmentation actually. Using a brush, so I'd probably start with the finger to get that pigment down, to get that nice metallic down, and then just for the edges probably go with the brush. But that's such a pretty shade, and you definitely see like it's shifting from silver to gold, which I think is so pretty. So I'm just going to pick it up on the brush again. I'm just going to kind of go just above the crease and bring it up a bit higher, just to really open up the eyes. I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and blended still. And then I'm going to take the Sigma brush. I'm going to pick up more of Noble actually, the very first shade, and just gently kind of go over where Noble meets Haze and just soften the blend. But that Haze shade is super pretty. I'm actually going to take some more of Haze on the brush and just pop some just on this lower lash line, just on the inner portion only. Okay, this is how we're looking so far. So the final thing I want to do is, like I said, I want to try just one of the just regular shimmers within the palette. So I'm going to go in with the shade Rose Quartz, which is the metallic pink shimmer with sparkling reflex. So I'm actually going to take it on a pencil brush and just pop in the inner corner. Okay, that's a pretty pink. Yeah, definitely a soft shimmer in comparison to Haze. I think actually for this look, it's possibly not the right shade to pair with Haze. So I'm actually going to go over the top with Heavenly, which is described as a metallic platinum gold with multi-dimension effects. I just think it actually needs to be a little bit brighter than that. Okay, so to finish off the eyes, I'm going to load up my lashes with the Lily Lolo Big Lash. I'm going to keep it quite natural and glossy with the lips. So this is the finished look using the Rose Metals palette. I think this is a really pretty palette. I really like the look that I've done. I think everything worked lovely. The mattes blended really well, a nice pigmentation, but easy to blend as well, which I think is great. The metallics are definitely really good. Like I said, I think finger works better than brush, but like I said, if you wanted to maybe wet the brush or wet the eyeshadow instead, if you're not a fan of using fingers, that would work just as well. And yeah, like I said, I can envision so many more looks with this palette to do, which I think is great and makes it kind of worth the money as well. So on this very first impressions, having done one look with it, I am very happy that I got this palette. I'll definitely be playing with it again and definitely leading up to Christmas. I think it makes some really pretty nice party looks, even for New Year's Eve, or just general kind of night out looks, glam looks. I think this will work really nicely. And actually, maybe I could do a date and evening look with it, because like I said, I think obviously you could just play with some of the neutral shades, the matte neutral shades, and come up with a kind of soft day look, and then vamp it up to a nice evening look. So maybe that's a video I could do as well. But let me know your thoughts down below of how you think this turned out. And I know in the live that I did, I think it was Marie, so she did have her eye on this palette as well, and I can say it's definitely a super pretty palette. It is £48, and like I said, I was trying not to spend the money because of saving and stuff, but Jamie convinced me to buy it. I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of this for sure. Before I end this video, I'm just going to get Jamie up here to see his reaction and see what he thinks of it, and then I'll close up this video.
Ooh. Hey.
Hey.
Is it still recording?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
You happy with the palette?
I am.
Yeah. So which ones have you used here? Let's look.
Have a guess. Alright, you might be able to guess because I've dipped into them, to be fair.
Haze?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the rose quartz on?
I got a mixture because I started with rose quartz and I didn't think it was quite the right colour, so I went over with Heavenly, so it's a bit of a lighter version of rose quartz.
Okay, fair. Around the top. What's on the top? June or Noble?
So Noble's on the outer portion, then it's blended out with June and then Ashes to finish.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, you happy with it?
I am very happy. Okay, so that is this video complete. I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what shades you want me to play with next with this, and if you want that day to evening look maybe. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave any requests for future videos down below, and I'll see you all in my next video.